So let's talk about ergonomics. Can sitting be bad for you? 100% yes. Sitting is terrible for the spine. It puts the most pressure on the discs. It can be bad for your posture. So number one rule of sitting and ergonomics when you're working at a desk like this is don't sit for too long. You go, well, how long is too long? 20 minutes. What can I get done in 20 minutes? Not a whole lot, right? So what you have to do is, number one, every 20 minutes, stand up, sit right back down. That's number one. You kind of reset your posture. I believe that the best posture on the planet can't hold correct posture longer than 20 minutes. That's the maximum. But when you reset, you can start over again. So that's number one. The second rule would be the 90-90-90 rule, which means when you're sitting at a desk like this, ideally your elbows are flexed at 90 degrees, your hips are at 90 degrees, and your knees are at 90 degrees. 90-90-90. That means if you're sitting too high, you need to lower the chair. If it's too low and the knees are higher than your hips, you need to raise the chair. It has to be 90 degrees. When you look at it from the side, it has to be 90 degrees. Also, when you're typing on a computer, so for example, this, your elbows need to be resting. This is rule number 3. Elbows need to be resting on something, because if your elbows are floating in the air, guess what? These muscles are holding your arms up, and they are the ones that form knots and lead to tension headaches. How many of you had tension headaches? How many of you feel tight and stiff in the neck and shoulders at the end of the workday when you've been sitting on the computer all day? Your elbows have to be resting. Right now, my armrests are a little too low and they need to actually be raised so that they would be comfortable for me, because you don't want the shoulder too low. If it's resting, the shoulder is high, that's okay. If you intentionally hold your shoulder up, then you create knots. So you want these muscles relaxed. Also, number 4, head should be over your shoulder. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna gradually sink down like this. And from the side, you're gonna look like this. Type it on the computer, head's down here. Part of the problem with that is your monitor's too low. Look at where my monitor is right now. This is terrible. When you sit up really tall, your eyes need to be at the center of the monitor. So if the monitor is this tall, my eyes need to be right here. The monitor needs to be here. So this is the ideal location of my monitor. The problem is it's a laptop. The keyboard goes with it. So you have to be able to detach the monitor from the keyboard. Keyboard has to be at a level where your elbows stay at 90 degrees. Elbows are resting on something and you're typing without having to move your arms too much, or your mouse has to be in a place where you're not moving your elbow too much, and the monitor is way up here so you can stay upright. So those are just a few rules about posture and ergonomics and working at a computer without hurting yourself. I hope that's helpful. If it is, like and share the video and subscribe, and also comment so we know what you're thinking. Take care and we'll talk to you soon.